Happy New Year! Welcome to 2020. In this video I'll cover some of the things that is going on with the SAP CPI platform and where I think it becomes really interesting in 2020. So I think that the first thing is most customers are already using SAP CPI in one perspective or another, either as a part of their SuccessFactors delivery, that they get it on as a part of that, or to use some of the pre-delivered content to do e-invoicing. I do also see that it is becoming a lot more used for doing custom integration, and I think that is where we'll see a huge spike in 2020 about people starting to use that as the primary integration engine. There are obviously still some gaps between what PI offers and what CPI offers, and PI is superior in some aspects, like restarting messages monitoring and the simplicity of what you can do with a point-to-point connection. I think one of the things I've really struggled with way back when I started with PI was you could only do so much things without having to do a BPM or CC BPM, and that was really good because it forced you really to think the concept of message to message delivery. And now when I see some CPI scenarios, I see it really makes a lot of benefits that you have this tight restriction on what you can do in the old world versus the new CPI world, where it's just like a platform, you can do whatever you want. So just like a spider web, as I say, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that is what we'd have in the CPI platform. We will need to figure out how we actually architecting things in that platform a lot better than we did in the CPI and PI world, because there we had our limited framework. Now we can do whatever we want. So we need to create a better way of managing the CPI and making sure that we create simple integrations that other people can manage, and I think that is probably one of the key areas. I also think that in 2020 we will see people start migrating to the Cloud Foundry deployments, and they are live in Azure, Amazon and Alibaba just as this past month. And I think with that we will see that when it's on all the hyperscalers, we will see that the gaps between the Neo and the Cloud Foundry will start to close. And once it's closed, I would imagine that SAP will start putting Cloud Foundry deployment first, and enticing customers to really go to the Cloud Foundry deployment, because it has some advantages with regards to scaling of the applications and what they are able to do. So that is what I probably would see late 2020, that customers would start to migrate to Cloud Foundry. Speaking of migration, I think we'll see a lot more customers migrating from the PI environment to CPI because it's easier to operate. They don't need bases or anything like that. It's a lot simpler process of delivering integration in CPI. So there will be a lot of projects going on to migrate stuff or migrate all your integrations in it. I hope we'll have some tools that will allow you to manage the migration a lot easier. But I think it will be the place that you want to go. If you do not know SAP CPI already, I recommend that you take a course, or at least understand what are the basic concepts that you need to understand before you can do any CPI development. I've created a blog on it. You can find it in the description on the blog post accompanying this video series. And I think it's crucial that you go through this and at least familiarize yourself with what the two differences is between the PI and the CPI, because it's remarkable differently, and you need to understand what the differences are before you can really make great integrations in it. I also think that we will see more people doing automation, DevOps, either creating their own tools for it, and we have seen that there's been a lot of different open source tools being released. The biggest is the Real Core dashboard that give you an insight about what your CPI is doing, but there's also smaller projects that give some different insights about what the platforms can do. And obviously we have the Figaf tool that allow you to manage and monitor everything about the CPI systems that you have. So definitely, if you're not on CPI yet, you want to go and figure out what it can do for your business. At least understand what it is, and then you may not be ready to it because you're just an on-prem customer or anything else like that that's going on. So yes, I hope you like this this video. If you like the series, anything like that, just hit the like button. I will also link to the blog post accompanying this this series, where you can see all the other videos in it. Thank you.